Norris smoothing planes have a reputation for being the best planes ever made. They certainly have some fine attributes. This one here is an A6 from probably around the 1920s. It's very heavy and it has a lovely thick blade from solid cast steel with a nice thick chip breaker as well. The blade is bedded at some 47-48 degrees and it has a very tight mouth, so it's excellent at planing and smoothing boards without tear out. This is a round-sided A5. It works. It does a really nice job on this curly walnut here. Norris's reputation and success really was built on this adjustment mechanism. This was introduced in 1913 and modified in 1922 and improved. And this is what really made them the last surviving plane maker when they finally went out of business in the 1950s. These are the A5s and the A6s. They're expensive planes and they're really, although they work really nicely, they're really more in the collector's category. At the same time that this was produced in around the 1920s, they also did a series of planes. This is an A50 and they did an A51 with straight sides, and these were much more reasonable then and they're much more reasonable to buy now. One of the nice things about this plane is instead of having a full infill here, it's actually the plane or the blade is sitting on the casting. So whereas some of these older planes, they're sitting on the wood, if the wood moves then they can be not as well performing actually as the cheaper ones. So these, if you want a good Norris plane, these are really well worth investing in. Now, before the adjustment mechanism came in, which I think was the actual zenith of plane making, was around 1900 to around 1910. And these planes were really beautifully made. It was at a time when the manufacturers were competing on quality rather than on price. Beautiful Rio rosewood handles, a lovely Saracen's head screw here, and a really very nice plane. Lovely elegant spur as well. Just it's the very best era. And for me, they're no more difficult to adjust than the ones with the mechanisms. You can just simply tap to adjust from side to side. Very similar to my wooden hand planes, and actually they can be more sensitive than the adjusters. So of all of the Norris planes, these are probably my favourites. They look really nice and they're beautiful. Now, were they the best planes around? Well, as you can see here, very similar plane from Matheson. Again, you can see the lovely elegant spur, the lovely pointed Saracen's head screw on there, beautifully dovetailed so you can hardly see the sides here, and spires were very similar as well. So of all of these planes, they were all of this period around the 1900s to the 1910s. They were all of excellent quality and they're well worth seeking out. And they're not too expensive either. For around about the £200 mark, you can still find really good quality, nice planes like this that'll be a good investment for the future and also something that you can enjoy on your bench.